You can see them just coming for another round. There go the Germans. They've also bailed out of their position. We've actually got, do we have 4 German teams? Oh, it's a French team that's just bailed out. Oh no, we've got 3 German teams here, don't we? Wow, that doesn't help with our...
3 German teams, and we're going to focus a little bit on Tobias Schadewold because he's in 2nd place, and the Spanish boat who's in 1st place. So
those 2 are battling right at the...
Let me bring up the graphics. That's the 2 I've highlighted. One boat at the pin end, that's the Spanish boat, and Tobias Schadewold in 2nd place.
And there they are. They're off.
Yeah,
off they go.
Off the start line. Someone went early. Someone went early and has to go back. That is the Russian boat. Had to bear off. You can see the wind has gotten really light. Not a great start for the Germans. They have to tack off. They have to tack out.
Good start for the Spanish. They got off right at the boat, and they seem to be able to hold their lane.
Yeah, you can see it really well on the virtual. Spanish boat with the red line in front, currently having the lead. Nice start for them. Tobias Schadewold had to bail out. Terrible start for him. He has to go behind.
Tough break for him. He was 5th in our first race. He was the leader coming into this round. Am I right, Marcus?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he was the leader, and currently in the overall standings he would drop down to 3rd because the other German boat is having a great start.
We've got a couple of the boats already approached the lane boundary, and the Spanish were not able to hold their lane, although they have been able to keep enough pace that these boats who came to the boundary early have had to duck them. So they are taking good advantage of their starting skills at this point by, even though not having the perfect lane of their own, they did hold on enough that the boats below them, who didn't start as well, had to go behind them. And now we'll see the Germans here using the full width of the course, coming right up at the boundary. They're attacking. They will cost the Spanish. We can see that from here. But the Spanish will get a lane of their own outside them. And here we see... Wow, tight racing here. We can already see the guys coming back from the other side of the lane boundary.
Not much wind on the far end at all. Tobias Schadewold having really light winds over there.
You can see the fleet just coming back and forth. Our Spanish struggled through that tack in this light wind. They do not look like they have much momentum here. I think they may have to duck the Danes who came back. Now we're alongside the course. This is what we call our gain cam, so you can take a look at what the skipper's looking at, and you can see the Spanish. They're going for the cross. They easily got it on the Danes. Good for them. They are in the lead right now after coming into the race and our first race, so they'll be looking to have another solid race and consolidate, moving on to the next round. Looking like they're in 2nd or 3rd place at this point. Which German team is that in the lead, Marcus? Can you look through?
That is Justus Schmidt and Max Böhme. They're really good at light winds.
Oh, okay, well, good for them getting to showcase their skills after a tough week in various conditions, but mostly breezy. Yeah, so you can see they've actually extended quite nicely. They were the ones that pinched out the Spanish off the start line, so they must have good speed in light wind. Good for them. We can check in with the virtual. We're almost at the windward mark. The ley line will be coming up here soon, and the Germans, in fact, on our camera have just tacked. They'll be coming up to the mark. If they can have a good, rounding, then they'll be able to extend.
German boat rounding the first mark now.
Oh, really tight cross here with the Danes. The Danes just at the back of your screen trying to cross. Is that Tobias in the Audi-sponsored boat?
Yep.
Wow, so they got a cross. It's a different one.
Should be BMW. There is Justus Schmidt and Max Böhme in the lead, I hear. 2nd place, the Spanish boat, that with that sort of finishing place would be well in the lead after 2 races of round 2. After this, just 1 more race to go, and they have 5 points currently. Quite a comfortable lead towards the German boat with 8 points, and the 3rd place boat with roughly 13 points. But still, a lot can happen in this race. 1 lap to go.
Yeah.
There's Tobias Schadewold.
In this light wind, especially as it's dying, who knows what'll happen. If it stays stable, the guys will probably just be able to extend. But if oh wow, look down the line there. Let's get the full overhead out zoom, James, from the top. Right, we can see everyone straight setting, coming right up to our lane boundary, and then they'll be jostling for position if we...
Let's have a look at the gate the boats are going towards. That's the gate marks. The boats have to go around. They can either go around that way or that way onto the far side of the course.
Then mostly they've been coming towards us, haven't they, Marcus?
Yep.
Seems to have been more wind in that
There's
direction.
a mix-up in trackers. It says Philipp Kramer on the leading boat, but apparently it's Justus Schmidt and Max Böhme who are in the lead at the moment.
Oh,
But
that looks
did
like
we
the
see a pass?
Alonsos.
Did we see a pass
Alonsos,
there?
yeah. The German team has had some sort of mix-up. They must have lost their wind, and now they're getting passed for a second time. So the Alonsos using their downwind speed. Ooh, that looks painful. You can see once that leading German boat has got stopped, they've found it really difficult to reaccelerate. They lost 2 positions in that pass, and they'll be disappointed with that after having such a nice lead to ram the windward mark, won't they?
Absolutely.
We can watch the replay of that. Oh, sorry, Marcus, I got you live already. You can see just the boat there coming around and getting past. Okay, and we've got the Alonsos already rounding the leeward mark. They've actually gone the other way, haven't they? That's probably just to reduce maneuvers. I'd expect to see them tack back quite soon. Maybe not, because we did see the... Yeah, there they go. They've tacked back, so they're not taking any chances. They just tried to reduce the jibe to keep momentum through that gate. That's a wonderful shot there, James. Thanks for showing us that.
Spanish boat going around the wide mark. In the background, German boat following them. But the Spanish have tacked again, heading towards the left side, the close side of the course, heading towards our camera here.
Just an observation, Marcus. We're now whispering because it's so light out there as opposed to shouting like we were yesterday. I wonder if everyone else at home is doing the same thing.
I mean,
that's some
we have to say we
racing.
sailed these boats for more than 10 years, and that's what you do when you're out there and it's light. Then you're so careful not to disturb anything, not to disturb the boat, to move really slowly. So
even controlling our breathing.
Yeah.
There we can see the Alonsos looking like they're in great position. These are our Danes approaching the tacking mark here, and they came through from the first round, so it's good to see them having a good race here. Of course, the dream of all sailors is to come in on 29th, squeak into the theater-style day, and then make it all the way through to win the whole championship. With the Alonso sailing so well in this round, doesn't seem likely that the Danes will be able to move on as well, but how are they looking with a second place in this race?
Well, they've climbed 1 spot from the 8th they came in with. They're 7th at the moment overall. So
I guess they were 7th in the first race, so that's only fair.
Yeah.
Good for them, though. Ah, now they've moved up, tied for 6th in our virtual leaderboard.
Yeah, and it's still close, but I doubt that they will make the cut into the next round. That's going to be tough.
That's going to be tough with the Spanish winning already the first, leading the second race and winning the first race. That's a pretty commanding performance.
But it shows, even on these short courses, skill matters. And I mean,
sure.
The Spanish team is surely the one with the most success in the past and the most routine, so they deserve to be up there. And it's not a game of luck, it's a game of skill. Yeah,
the Spanish won the qualifying in the first part of this week. They sailed really well. They've always been in a bit in the shadow of Iker Martinez and Xabi Alonso. The guys, those gold medalists and silver medalists, multiple-time world champions, now rock stars of the AC circuit. But they've had some really good results in the past, top 10s all the way along, and they're real professionals. You should see the way they prepare their boats. I saw them squeegeeing their foils down in between days during the week.
Quite interesting that the Spanish boat put in an extra tack here, which means they will have to put in an extra tack again. Just to cover the Danish boat.
Yeah, here we come to the windward mark, Spanish.
There's little patches of wind there that you want to go towards and take advantage of. So, Spanish boat in the lead, Danish boat second. They have
done really nicely up the speed, haven't
dramatically.
they? They're tacking cleanly into second, and now there's a fight on between 4 German teams here, all for third place through 6th. We'll see how that plays out. But But yeah, really tight racing. Good to see the Spanish excelling here. They had a tough day on one of the Gold Fleet days that had a lot of wind, and I think the race there was abandoned. They were sailing well as well. So they've had a couple bad breaks, and now they're doing really well. There they come in for one of the last jibes of this race. You can see how light it is now with Arturo, the crew, up on the bow of the boat. At this point, he's even sitting down, so it must be getting really light now.
Yep. It's this dying morning wind on Lake Garda, which is very, very typical. The wind falls down from the mountains, cold air falling down, and that wind just abates over the morning, becomes less and less, and we're just in the last whispers of this wind.
Okay, so let's move our focus back farther in the fleet. We've got the Alonsos pretty comfortable there. Thank you, James. Keep doing what you're doing, and let's get a perspective on where everyone is in this beautiful lake all the way back out. A couple teams actually jibe setting here, including Tobias Schadewalt, our German champion. James, if you've got, that's the perfect image there. If you look back in the fleet, we mentioned those 4 German teams all vying for 3rd through 2nd. Tobias is jibe set while the other 3 came to the close side, and he is now looking for any extra bit of breeze to try and get around them, and he'll put a little bit of pressure on them with the wind shadow. We'll see. He's coming. You can see him approaching the far lane boundary there.
If he wants to approach to the next round, he does have to take some risk and try to overtake the other guys with a lucky gust if he wants to stay in the race, because with the Alonso's winning this race, it's going to be really hard to catch him.
This is the first time the sun's moved across a bit. You can actually see both sets of lane boundaries out there. So Tobias Schadewalt just about to approach the far boundaries, while in the foreground we've got the close boundaries. So you can see how narrow this race course is. The sailors forced to sail in a confined area to keep it all close. Tobias goes into his jibe there. To me, it doesn't look like he's going to get through this block of German boats, but
no,
we'll see
he
how
did take a risk
out.
heading out to that side. There was no options he had really if he wanted to catch up, but it didn't pan out really. He's got right away now towards the German boat, but it looks like they're going to jibe on top of him, and then he's got the bad air.
As you said, there they go. They've jibed on top of him, and they're in a pretty commanding position at this point. We'll see. You know, he's got some pretty cagey skills, so we'll see if he's able to jibe back and pull something out, or what he does in this case.
Alonso's going through the finish right now, crossing the finish line. Solid lead for them, followed by the Danish boat.
In our virtual standings, as we can see it, the Alonsos will have 4 points at this time, with the second place team having 11. So an almost insurmountable lead here.
Really
actually, that would
lead.
be insurmountable because the 7-point gap, and the Alonsos having 2 wins here would win in the tiebreak.
It just went down to 10 points.
Okay,
so the
lots to
Alonsos,
play
if they
for.
come 7th or 8th, then the Germans would win. Then it could still change.
And here we see Tobias Schadewalt. He's soaked low, and then we still have a big battle between Tobias is in the German flag spinnaker, the guys he's battling in the SAP spinnaker, and the black spinnaker. So he's still making some good passes here as we approach the finish line. It's tremendously light now. David Campbell James, our race officer, will struggle to get the 3rd race in these conditions, I'm guessing. Can we? Which German team is this? Who's just finished across the line in 3rd?
That is probably in 3rd place. That's Kramer and Kramer.
Ah, sorry, that's 4th place, and now Tobias is coming in for 5th place. That's the German flag spinnaker.
That is so light.
That is so light. So this breeze has just petered out on us. And the guys, they'll be happy they got across the line, but probably looking for more.